Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the peak-to-peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists. Hello, I'm Dango Rose, and this is the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. In this week's episode, we hear from Karina, Luscher, and Rob Langone with Salto Coffee in Nederland. They talk about the coffee shop and adventures traveling the world to bring the best source beans up to the mountains.
We hear this week's music mentions from Jamie Lammers, and special correspondent Maryann Rosen will share a fascinating tale about National Gratitude Month and the benefits that gratitude brings to our lives.
And for our final story, Jamie Lammers interviews Hunter Stone, guitarist and local musician playing across the peaks.
But first, some news from your neighborhood. The annual Mountaineer Photo Contest, Pet of the Year, is open for submissions. That's right. It's time to find those photos of your four-legged friends and submit them to this year's contest. And don't forget your reptiles, fowl, and farm animals. Submissions are now open, and they end November 17th. Winners will be announced in the December 21st edition of the Mountaineer newspaper. You can go online and follow the prompts to submit your pet for this prestigious award and to see the official rules of entry.
Be sure and grab a copy of the 2023 Shop Local Holiday Gift Guide this Thursday, inserted inside the paper and out on stands across the peak to peak.
The Eldora Mountain Resort is hiring for the 2023-24 winter season. If you're looking to join the snowbound team and to enjoy all the perks of working in Eldora's winter windy wonderland, apply online at eldora.com/jobs.
As we move into the cooler months and begin to turn up those heaters and light our cozy fires, make sure you take a moment to first check and maintain all of your equipment to ensure it is safe and in proper working order. Check and replace batteries if needed in both your fire detector and carbon monoxide detector, and be sure to double-check ventilation systems and clear those chimneys. Every year, more than 400 people die in carbon monoxide-related deaths due to a lack of ventilation, and home fires almost always double during the winter months. Read more local news and feature stories in print and online at themountaineer.com.
And that's it for this week's news briefs. If you have something to share, you can send requests for submission to info@themountaineer.com. As long as it meets our community standards, we'll be sure to include it in a future episode. Brightwood Music has been serving the peak-to-peak region and beyond since opening in 2008. The full-service music store offers new and used instruments and will even repair the ones you've got. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook at Brightwood Music. Brightwood Music is the best music store with altitude across the peak to peak. Now for our lead story. Cynthia interviews Karina, Luscher, and Rob Langone of Salto Coffee. They speak about what's new at the local coffee shop, as well as their recent coffee origins excursion to Colombia.
Hello. So let's go ahead and start with the introductions.
I'm Karina Luscher, and I'm the owner-operator of Salto Coffee and Tin Shed Sports here in Nederland, Colorado.
Hi, I'm Rob Langone. I'm the roaster here at Salto. I'm basically running the coffee program for Karina.
And how long has Salto been in business?
So we have been here we opened our doors in 2012, May of 2012.
And can you tell us some of the ways Salto has grown from opening until now?
That's a really good question. I think, Salto has grown as town has grown. We have, since we opened, one of our big accomplishments is the growth of the roastery, the coffee program that we have. We didn't start roasting our own coffee until about 3 years into being open. So it was a whole nother ball of wax to learn and understand and then grow. So that's been a significant growth area for Salto over the last 12 years is what we've done in the roastery, along with growing our menu and we just see a lot more people coming through the door. I mean, it's just straight up, our local community just continues to support us tremendously.
And Rob, you recently got to take a trip to one of the origins of where some of your beans are produced. Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so luckily for me, Karina was not able to make this trip, but our importer, we've an importer that does these resource trips, and they go to various coffee growing regions. And this most recent one was in Colombia, and it was centered around women coffee producers. And we use a lot of women produced coffee offerings here at Salto for obvious reasons. And it was really amazing to see these women that produce their own coffees. Everything from growing the beans to having them, sent to the exporter and bagged and sent to our importer, where we then get them.
And I imagine this was eye-opening.
We spent time at these farms that these women these run these farms. Now it wasn't harvest season, so we didn't actually see the coffee trees being picked as cherries, but we were able to get a good idea of how these women run their farms, and as small as 1 or 2 hectares to the larger ones, and they were super gracious, so welcoming, and we had a few people with the export company with us to help translate, but we had lunch at some of these farms. They cooked us dinner. We cupped coffees. The owner made us empanadas. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, and once some of these lots clear customs, we will have some for sale here at 1 or 2 of the farms that we actually saw and visited and spoke with the people that own it and work at it. So it'll be a really nice thing to have.
So it's nice to bring this awareness to the community.
It's a really great opportunity. I think it's been a great opportunity for us, for Salto, to connect the dots to what we're doing here in Nederland. Like Rob said, we've been buying these beans from them. This particular, it's not the only bean that we buy, but we've been buying these beans for quite some time. And to be invited to go on an origin trip with our importer was really quite an honor. We've not been invited on one in the past, and that's there are probably a lot of reasons for that. But when we did get invited, it was an opportunity that we didn't really want to pass up, because we would finally be able to, at least in one corner of what we do, be able to connect the dots and be able to bring that knowledge back and make what we do have just a little bit more meaning and value.
Now, I love a dark roast, but can you tell me what your most popular blends are there in Nederland?
Good question.
Yeah.
It's not a dark roast.
We do have a dark roast, though.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We do have a dark roast, but our most popular roast would probably be Gypsy, right? Gypsy Salto?
Yeah. Gypsy and Salto are definitely the 2 signature roasts here at Salto.
Yeah. So the Gypsy blend is really it's a true light to medium roast, and It is the beans that are in it are,
Colombia and Peru.
Colombia and Peru.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice balanced blend. It's kind of it's a very approachable sort of everyday, delicious, bright but full coffee.
Yeah.
And how about any holiday blends that you offer?
We try to do seasonal blends. And this holiday season, we have a blend called Wool Sweater. It's a nice, it's not, I wouldn't call it dark roasted, but it's full bodied. It's great as espresso, and it makes a fantastic filter coffee as well. So that's our latest blend, our latest offering.
Yeah, we just put that on the shelves
a couple days ago.
Yep. That's brand new.
And you mentioned a discount available for locals.
The big thing for us is ordering online, and we've got breakfast happy hour. So if you order online between the hours of 7 and 8 a.m., you get a 10% discount. Figure we want to kind of cater to the folks that need to get out of the house and either to work or up to the hill in a timely fashion. So we're trying to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, so if they want to order online, saltocoffee.com, and there is an order online link that will take you to the website where you can order online.
So is there anything else you want to let people know before we wrap up?
We're really proud to be able to serve our community. We have been and continue to be very proud to serve our community for the last 11 plus years. And then we're so excited for the next 11. And, coupled with what we're doing in our roastery, which is truly a gem. What we're doing in our kitchen and special events and community building events, supporting nonprofits. With all of that, we're really proud to be here and look forward to seeing everybody come in and saying hi.
Thank you both. There's nothing like a warm cup of coffee to get things going, especially on those particularly snowy days. We'll be sure to include a link to your website in our show notes.
On a lost highway, shepherd and his sheep, counting cars and waterways, those memories lost in sleep. I was on the road, one shoe for two walking feet, made a pallet on your floor, just like old Cassidy. Now we go to correspondent Jamie Lammers, who will be delivering this week's Music Mentions.
And now, for this week's Music Mentions. Head to the Canyon Tavern, located at 32138 Highway 72 in Coal Creek Canyon on Saturday, November 18th at 6 p.m. to see Brandon Sipes performing live. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m., the Diner Bar Ned hosts a karaoke night. Be sure to head there at 121 North Jefferson Street in Nederland to check them out for yourself. Head to the Gold Hill Inn, located at 401 Main Street in Gold Hill on Friday, November 17th at 8 p.m. to see the Tom LaFon Band performing live, on Saturday, November 18th at 7 p.m. to see John Smith with Dan Sebernek performing live, and on Sunday, November 19th at 7:30 p.m. to see Jeffrey Foucault performing live. Head to Hallenwind Brewing, located at 51A Main Street in Rollinsville on Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. to see Strange Birds performing live. Head to the Jamestown Mercantile, located at 108 Main Street in Jamestown on Wednesday, November 15th at 5 p.m. for an open mic night, on Thursday, November 16th at 7 p.m. for a performance by Mickey Balder and Taylor Sharp, and on Friday, November 17th at 7 p.m. to see the Hunter Stone Band performing live. Head to JKQ Barbecue, located at 200 Gregory Street in Blackhawk on Friday, November 17th at 6 p.m. and on Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. to see Robbie Wicks performing live. Every Sunday at 5 p.m., Knotted Brewing hosts Jazz Sundays. Be sure to head there at 250 North Caribou Street in Nederland to check them out for yourself. Most Sundays at 4 p.m., the Millside Inn hosts an open jam. Be sure to head there at 44365 Highway 72 in Ward to check them out for yourself. And finally, head to the Very Nice Brewing Company, located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, number 112 in Nederland on Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. to see The Gale performing live, and on Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. to see Windy Pines performing live. Did we miss you or your performance? Want to submit your music listing in the Peaks Peak area? Do you have updates to your business or to your performances? Please call 303-810-5409 or email info@themountaineer.com to be included in the next print edition or the next podcast of The Mountain Ear.
Thank you, Jamie. Now let's drop in with special correspondent, Maryann Rosen, who shares a fascinating tale about National Gratitude Month and the benefits that gratitude brings to our lives.
Gratitude is an indispensable emotion that should be universally shared. Research shows that gratitude can enhance moods, decrease stress, and improve one's overall level of health and well-being. Grateful people tend to have fewer stress-related illnesses, lower blood pressure, have less depression, and are often happier and have more satisfying relationships. With this in mind, November is National Gratitude Month in the United States, a month to encourage us to embrace the power of gratitude, a month to reflect on all things. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It is the inward feeling of kindness received, while thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. Gratitude shifts us from focusing on the negative in our lives to the positive. Daily gratitude practices provide a deeper connection to ourselves, the world, the Creator, or the universe. Where thankfulness is usually an emotion, gratitude is an attitude of appreciation under any circumstance. A difficult thing to do at times, no doubt. One may feel thankful to someone or about something in the moment, but gratitude is an ongoing showing of appreciation for things or a relationship. Gratitude means expressing thankfulness and being appreciative of life on a daily basis, even when nothing exciting happens. It is your decision that the day is a good one, even when evidence points to the contrary. One does not need something good to happen to have gratitude. And when bad things happen, your gratitude does not falter. You know that sad and bad things are a part of life, yet you are happy with the life you lead. You may not always feel happy, and sad or bad things may happen, but you can still be grateful. Although all of this may be true and be the meaning of gratitude, it is often difficult to understand how to be grateful in light of what is going on in your life, your community, or the world. This attitude of gratitude needs to be ingrained and maintained. On the deepest level, it is a reflection, acknowledgement, and acceptance of your own worth. Many believe that there are 3 types of gratitude. Gratitude as an affective trait, that is one's overall tendency to have a grateful disposition. The second is that gratefulness is a mood with daily fluctuations. And the third is gratitude as an emotion. The 4 A's of gratitude are appreciation, approval, admiration, and attention, while its pillars are sincerity, empathy, self-regard, integrity, and humility. In actuality, joy is the simplest form of gratitude. But how does one encourage and bring gratitude into one's life and maintain it? Although some of these seem trivial, research has indicated that over time, they do seem to work. A good start is to begin by reflecting on what or who you are grateful for. Think about what it means to be grateful or to have appreciation for these things or people. Tell people you are grateful for them. Spend time with loved ones. Look for ways to emphasize gratitude in your relationships. Think about times you have seen kindness and gratitude in your own life. Another thing to do is notice good things, big or tiny, everyday things. Look at them, appreciate them, savor, absorb, and really pay attention to them. Every day, at least once a day, consciously think about being grateful. Express gratitude toward yourself and then extend and give gratitude to others. Each day, do a gratitude exercise. Read stories about being grateful. Do volunteer work. Be there for family and friends. Give to others even if they are not family and friends. Keep a gratitude journal and every day list 5 things that you were grateful for that day, however small. In the morning, be grateful for the day ahead and rise with positive thoughts and a positive attitude. Write on a slip of paper one good thing that happened to you during the day, something you are grateful for. Put these slips of paper every day in a jar, and at the end of a month or a year, read them all in order to remember all of the things you were grateful for and all of the good. Begin a meditation practice. Mindfulness and gratitude go hand in hand. The aforementioned are just some of the things that you can do to bring gratitude into your life. If you are, however, looking for symbols of gratitude in the natural world, look to pumpkins, as they represent gratitude, generosity, harvest, and abundance. Flowers and plants that are emblems of the emotion are pink or peach roses, yellow lilies, marantha or prayer plants, and hydrangeas. Blue hydrangeas are linked to the actual meaning of gratitude, while pink ones mean sincere emotion and true feelings. So during this National Month of Gratitude, ponder how thankfulness and gratitude together make not only you, but the world a kinder and happier place, especially in light of all that has taken place in the world right now. In autumn's folding, we celebrate and are grateful for life's abundance, its simple pleasures, the people we love, and the world at large. Don't wait until the 4th Thursday in November to sit with family and friends to give thanks. Make every day one of thanks and gratitude.
The much anticipated Taste of the Peaks is available on newsstands across the peak to peak. Be sure to pick up a copy to find your favorite local eatery. And don't forget to share it with friends, because a meal share is always better than Betty Crocker. You can also view the guide by going online to themountaineer.com. I've been cut down, I've been run down on this path to Galilee, like a shepherd on the shoulder, this highway of forgotten dreams. For days I've been fretting the thought of losing you. Life's too short to be forgetting the light that guides us through. And for our final story, Jamie interviews Hunter Stone, guitarist and local mountain musician. They'll talk about the finite nature of fleeting inspiration and how to keep creativity alive within an existential frame.
Hello, my name is Jamie Lammers, and I'm back with another musical guest. Do you mind introducing yourself real quick?
My name's Hunter Stone. I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Boulder. And yeah, I don't know what else you might want to know.
And I hear you're performing at the Jamestown Mercantile very soon.
Yeah, I've played there a number of times in the past with various outfits, but it's nice to be back there. And I always love the Merc. It's a good vibe. I like being in a place that's a lot older than me. And my music pays a lot of homage to how life was in the West. And I feel like in some ways kind of echoes through that building, that same vibe.
So what got you started in music in the first place?
It actually began, my connection with music started at a young age, just listening to music and singing along to the radio with my folks driving in the car and all that. But I picked up a guitar when I was probably 13 or so, and we were on this big cross-country trip. I grew up in Massachusetts, so we flew out to Colorado, got in an RV, brought my dad's guitar from college or whatever, and had like a Bob Dylan chord book. And me and my brother would take turns around the fire. And this was 2001 or so, pre-cell phones, pre-widely used internet and connectivity. So we were gone for a month, all the way from Denver down to Four Corners, all the way up to Glacier National Park in Montana. And at night, we would sit around the fire and play some music. That's kind of how I got into playing guitar. And then I just kept at it and found some friends to play with in high school and started writing songs. And I guess that's kind of my goal always, is just to keep writing songs that I feel connected to and interpret the world around me with that lens, basically.
What sticks out to you most about the songwriting process?
I guess what sticks out to me in some ways is just how it's never the same. I feel like I'm always sifting through information and things that stick out to me in my brain, like little phrases. For example, Closed for Seasons, a song that when I first went up to Rocky Mountain National Park, I got to the top where the visitor center is, and it was all boarded up and had this big hand-painted sign that said Closed for Season. I was like, I'd say it was probably like 6 years before I wrote the song Closed for Season. I just had Closed for Season stuck in my head. It wasn't even a song. It wasn't even anything. It wasn't a melody. It was just a phrase. And so I feel like for me, the excitement of collecting those phrases and those images and those little things and not knowing if they're going to turn into something that day or the next day or years down the road, but always trying to keep that catalog of things that initially inspired me, just to repeat them and just to put them inside my head. And then the challenge of taking those inspirations and putting them into a song and working through this fear of like, oh, this might not be the exact way that this needs to be said, or you have this idea in your mind of something that could be really great, and then you're trying to work up to that level, and it's like a puzzle. You're putting it together piece by piece, and there's no real lines, there's no corner pieces, there's no edges. So really you get to be as creative as you want to be, and also you don't have that cover for the puzzle to look at to be like, this could go there, this could go there. It's all kind of up to you. And I think that that's really fun too.
And what sticks out to you about playing live?
Well, playing live is like, I guess it's a totally different experience for me, where songwriting for me is fairly cerebral. I feel like I'm kind of engaging my frontal core, and I like to be pretty precise with the words and how they're flowing. And when it comes time to perform live, I feel like I want to shut that part of my brain off, put that aside, because the work of the song has been done. Now it's the job of the band to bring it to life. And I kind of believe firmly in not playing things exactly the same all the time. And I grew up in the jam band realm, where every night you're getting different versions of songs. And I always like that. And I'm not afraid to improvise, not afraid to let it dangle a little bit. There are definitely songs that I keep a little bit close to the heart that I like to keep structured the way that they are on the album. But when I'm playing live, I like letting them kind of take on their own personality or just their own thing for that night, whatever is going to happen. And I think that's kind of the exciting part of playing live, is have great musicians play with you and reacting to the moments to create something that's not just the same way you've heard it before. That's inspiring to me.
What do you hope that audience members take away from your shows when they come and see them?
Well, I guess I would hope that I move people in some way. Not even me, but I would hope that my songs move people, whether it's physically, whether you're just dancing to something, or if there's more of a ballad song that I've written with the intent of having some lyrics that really pull on heartstrings. And I think the mix of being able to let go and relax and have fun, have a drink, but then also tap into something that's a little bit more emotional and get more of a full spectrum. So like maybe one song just playing acoustic and bringing it really down and asking for people to listen and have some intention behind their listening and trying to connect in that kind of way. And then also letting it out and having some guitar solos that go to different places that allow people to let loose and shut their brains off for a minute too.
Is there anything else in general that you'd like to add?
Well, I've been working on this album since COVID, basically. Basically, it's called Portraits of the New Old West, and it's kind of a collection of vignettes, and some of them are more on the singer-songwriter vein, and some of them slide more towards the rock side. And basically, I've been picking away at it, and I'm going to be releasing the second half of it, but I've been putting out singles and whatnot. And basically, it's kind of my vision of the West, yesterday, now, tomorrow, looking into the future and looking into the past all at once. And I feel like that's been a real musical vision for me, is just to try and tap into my roots here and what's come before us and kind of look forward to what's coming ahead. When it comes to playing these songs, I have a lot of connection to them. And I also have, it's funny because I have all these new songs that I've written that are not in that vibe at all, that are in a different vein. And I'm really excited about that too. It's a little bit more rock and a little bit more upbeat stuff, less of the ballads, more of the 3-minute, don't bore us, get to the chorus kind of songs, you know? So I don't know. I'm just excited to like blend all that stuff together. And then my band, I'm playing with Adam Perry. He and I play with Rolling Harvest, which is the Bob Dylan, Neil Young tribute band. So we'll often tap into a couple of those covers. And then one of my good friends, Fred Risen, he's a bass player that I've known for many, many years. And we kind of started playing together more recently. But between the three of us, we have a lot of trust in each other, musicianship-wise. And playing music is a lot like having a conversation. And when you're doing it with friends, it's the inside jokes. It's the remember the time when, it's all that stuff that comes through in music. It's like having a conversation with your buddies. And I'm really just psyched to be playing with some good friends and quality musicians.
Thank you so much to Hunter for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. If you want to see him and his band perform live at the Jamestown Mercantile, you can check them out at 108 Main Street in Jamestown on Friday, November 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
Life's too short, it's the path that brought us here. Life's too short, it's the pain that draws us near. Life's too short, it's that which binds us to. Life's too short, it's the light that guides us through.
That concludes this week's episode of the Mountain Air Podcast, where everybody's listening.
Visit our website at www.themountaineer.com to read more information about today's guests. Pick up a copy of this week's print edition of The Mountaineer at newsstands all across the Peak to Peak. I'm Dango Rose.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. Thank you for listening.
You name it, we've got it. You know, up here in the mountains, things are weird.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local peak-to-peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.